Hello, friends. Welcome to CG Live. Today, in a moment, I'll be talking to Jen Parks, an incredible, passionate follower of Jesus and such a servant. So you're going to wait for that conversation in a minute. But here's your weekly connection. We are passionate about seeing lives transformed by Jesus, and we want to be like Him every day more and more. In Jesus, we have the greatest example of servant leadership. That's why we're excited about Serve Sunday on May 26th. This will be an opportunity for you and your family to participate in a few activities to serve and impact our community. For example, we're doing grocery bags and homeless bags of hope. And how can you participate? Just simply by showing up to church on Sunday, and we'll have those opportunities to serve there for you. Also, are you or a loved one affected by cancer? If that's you today, we want to remind you that you are not alone. In fact, every first Wednesday of the month, we host Cancer Companions at our Gilbert campus. This is a welcoming support group for individuals and families. Join for a safe space to share experiences, find emotional support, and gain hope. Our next meeting will be on Wednesday, June 5th from 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. at the Gilbert campus in the parish meeting room. And you can sign up at christgreenfield.church/cancer. Next, our Vacation Bible School serves many children and families in our communities every year. In fact, last year we served over 400 kids in our Gilbert and East Mesa campus. This is one of our biggest outreach opportunities as a church. And for many kids, it may be the only opportunity for them to learn about the love of Jesus for them. If you're a parent or a grandparent or know any kids who would enjoy VBS, now's the time to sign up. And you can do that by visiting christgreenfield.church/VBS. Well, with hosting 400 kids, we're looking for adults and student volunteers. VBS is not just one of our biggest outreach opportunities as a church, but also a chance for you to make a significant impact in our community, especially for those kids. And with that, stay tuned for our CG Live conversation. Hello, friends. Welcome to CG Live. I'm here with my partner in crime, co-worker of the gospel, Jen Parks, and we're here to talk about Serve Sunday. And we'll get to those details. But Jen, I guess, why are you with me?
Well,
today,
you asked me to.
That's one thing for sure.
No, I love to serve. Service is my heart, and yeah, I'm on the missions team as well as spiritual care and World Vision Child Ambassador, and you name it. So I just love to serve. Yeah,
Jen wears so many hats, and man, you do have just this deep-seated passion for worship, which really is like part of the heartbeat of Jesus. And so Serve Sunday is essentially this opportunity for us to like go out and be the hands and feet of Jesus. But I was always the kid asking like, why? Why do we do this? Why do we believe in this? And so Jen, if I ask like, why serve, how would you answer that?
Gosh. So even before I knew Jesus, I always had it deep in my heart that we needed to serve. Now that I know Jesus, I'm like, well, He calls us to do it.
Yeah.
But it not only helps others, which I think volunteering and so many organizations are just dependent. I mean, the church alone are so dependent upon the volunteers and couldn't do what they do without. But then it helps yourself, if you're down, it's going to make you feel better. If you're feeling bad, it's going to make you see others and count your blessings that you may not see because if you're not serving others, you're just focused on yourself. And that's kind of bad.
Yeah, actually. So I was at this conference, and I was talking to Ryan and Matt and about just like when did your faith become your own? Right. And, for us, it's confirmation where you like confirm the faith that was giving you a baptism and kind of taking more ownership for me. But for me, it was a little later. I'm a late bloomer, Jen. And it was actually in high school when we went on a mission trip to Mexico, where I was like taken outside my little bubble. And was serving literally those with the most need. And it was like there that I like could most clearly see Jesus. And like, that's when like faith really took hold of me, but it took me getting beyond myself.
Yep.
And so that's like part of like, what does service, it helps your neighbor. It shows them love, but also in God's infinite goodness, it's good for us.
Absolutely.
It's good for us.
Yeah. And I'm so excited that we're able to start doing mission trips soon again. And, we're going to Guatemala.
Right.
Marlene's group is going to Guatemala in June. And hopefully there'll be more mission trips after that. And because really, I mean, like we try to serve our community and everything, and that's wonderful. And we need to. But when you get outside of the country and you truly see how blessed we are, like mind-blowing difference.
Yeah. I said this before in one of the messages, like I probably wouldn't be a pastor without the short-term mission trips I went on.
Right.
Those are really what God used to like kind of shape and form me. And two, it is, you break free from all the things and distractions around us. And two, what was always shocking to me is like, for those who we'd serve, the least of these, they quite literally have nothing, yet they have so much joy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite things, I've been very blessed to travel with World Vision a bit. And one of the trips was to Kenya. And we got to, when we landed that day, we got to go to Nairobi, to a church, and it was literally like in a mobile mini, thing. And there was goats roaming and eating the trash. And that was the best worship I've ever done in my whole life. I mean, you felt Jesus like none other, and literally was in basically a dumpster.
Yeah. That's all they have.
Yeah.
Is him.
Yeah. And they're totally pliant.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. When I was thinking about like, the question, like why serve, it always starts with how Jesus like served us and loved us, right? First John talks about how like we love because he first loved us. And two, it made me think of Jesus's own words that like when we serve the least of these, we're actually serving him. And so it's a form of like worship and reverence for who Jesus is to us. And the last reason I was thinking about it is, do you remember, not to put you on the spot, the greatest commandment, the two things Jesus said?
Go out and make disciples.
That is the commandment, the commission.
Love him and love others.
Right. There it is. Yeah.
Cool. I did it.
Well, serving is part of like fulfilling the Great Commission.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you're literally being the hands and feet of Jesus, but to love God and love others. What's interesting is how Jesus links those two. And it's almost like cyclical in that if you love God with everything you have, you are going to love your neighbors. But what's wild is when we love our neighbors, we are actually fulfilling the greatest commandment, loving God. Right. And so you can't have one without the other. And they build off each other and they flow into each other. It's really quite amazing. And you're right. There's not only so much benefit to others, but to us. And that is part of God's goodness towards us. And so we want you guys to experience that. We want you to experience responding to the love of Jesus by expressing it through service. We want you to show worship and honor to Jesus the King, directly serving him by serving the least of these. We want you to love the Lord your God with all your heart, because we know you do, by serving others. And so that's why this coming Sunday, May 26th, we're doing Serve Sunday. And so I'll give you some of the details, and then Jen, I'll have you share like a couple of things that we're doing. But here are the details first. Sunday, May 26th at Gilbert and East Mesa, same worship times. So if you're coming to Gilbert, 7:30, we're having worship. 9 o'clock, now caveat, 9, the 9 a.m. So they're going to be combined in the worship center. And 2, the 10:45 is going to be in the worship center. We're going to have a more abbreviated service so that essentially the second half of service is going to be you serving the community. And East Mesa, I know they're doing the 10 a.m. service, and they're going to have a abbreviated service as well, and then give you guys the opportunity to serve. But Jen, do you want to fill them in on what are some of the things they get to look forward to?
Couple that I know is we'll have a prayer time that after everybody leaves the sanctuary, then we'll have a little just offering prayer for others and our community and our world, and just a great time together, because not always can we serve with our hands and feet.
Right. Right.
You know, one reason or the other, but we can always, like, prayer is one of the most important acts of service that we can possibly do. And we're so blessed because we can do it all day, any day, but we're going to lead that time of prayer. Another one will be packing homeless emergency kits.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Cinch bags full of things. It's very hot in Arizona, as you well know. And so when we'll have these available in our cars and be able to distribute those when we see the need. What else? Yeah.
So, I mean, 2 things. One, I think we grossly underestimate the power of prayer.
Oh, yeah.
And what a offering of service and love it is to those around us. And so that is, for you, the most powerful way to serve. And yeah, the homeless kit bags. And so, like, yeah, there's a way to meet a need, especially like, you see people on the sides of the road. You can respond and love. The other thing we're going to do is essentially kind of like grocery bags of hope. We got, a shopping list. We have a food pantry. Some people probably don't know that we have a food pantry. It's like a best kept secret at Christ Greenfield, the Gilbert campus. But it services a lot of families in Gilbert and Mesa and kind of in the East Valley. And Sherry does a great job, especially during the summertime. And the reason we're doing it now is this is when it's, post-Easter, it gets really depleted. Mm-hmm. And so Sherry, who runs the food pantry, said, before summertime, when school's out and there's no more meals there, that's when they do need more food, but that's when the food pantry is often at its lowest. And so, yeah, you'll get a shopping list. You'll go to the grocery store right away, and then you'll come back and we'll refill the food pantry so that it can meet the needs of families this summer. And so those are the details. Check the Weekly Connection for more details. But we are so excited to have this time, not only to gather in worship, but then to be sent out to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And so, Jen, any last comments or words of encouragement?
I would say just serve and keep on serving. Not everything's going to fit the first time. There's so many organizations. And if you ever need to connect with an organization, like, hey, I really want to help children, but I don't know where to go. Well, then come and talk to Pastor Michael or myself, and we'll have a list or recommendations of where that you can make that happen. Yeah,
that is a really good point. If there's like a passion on your heart, a burden on your heart, it's not there by accident, right? God placed it there. And so if you have this calling, I would say, to serve, in a specific area, whether that's with children or animals or older adults or whatever it might be, and you just need help with that next step, reach out to us, and we'd love to help you get that next step, because it is such a blessing, not only to them, but to you as well. Well, with that, we'll see you Sunday. And church, be ready to serve, to respond to the goodness of Jesus by loving others. We'll see you Sunday.